Hey there, welcome back to the table. Okay, so from this point forward, we're going to be doing Russian commands after Russian commands, and we're playing defense with no cards, no nothing. So this could get brutal. I can tell you I'm doing better than I was the last time I played, but I don't remember this first turn taking this long before. So here's the first two cards for the Russians. And you can see here that the 2 is greater than the 1, and then the 1 has the command delay. So it's going to, command delay keeps getting shuffled back in over and over again until they are down to less than 4 cards in the deck. There's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards in this deck. So we keep drawing 2, but we're only end up drawing 1. So that's why it's taking forever. And then even when we draw combat tactics, you would think that would cause the card to get discarded, but then those get reshuffled in whenever it has wording like what you see at the bottom here where it says reuse. And here you can say no reuse on a mud turn or when there's 3 or few cards. So, but this one is going to actually happen. And so they're going to do activate all units in the 69th Army. So we know for a fact that will happen. 69th Army is not very powerful. They're in the back here. And what they're going to do is, without a doubt, they're going to move towards the objective. But their objective is not, this is not their objective. Their objective is over here in this direction. So they may not help the 40th very much. So let's go ahead and jump in. Okay, they are not going to take a VP. They're not near their objective. There's no open supply line they need to worry about. They can't cause surround on any unit. They don't need to protect a Soviet VP hex. They can't get next to an adjacent German VP hex. I mean, this one's close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces away. None of them are armor. They're all infantry. Can they get adjacent to a German unit in the logistics? No. Can they get adjacent to a German unit? No. Maybe this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. They can get next to this German unit. So that would be highest to lowest. So that's a no, that's a no. But number 12 here can do it. So they would go 1, 2, 3, 4 and get adjacent to a German unit. Then 11 would go and they can do the same thing. And then 10 would go, and they can do the same thing. So now they're triple stacked here. 1, 2, 3. They could spread it out. Let's see if they would. German unit to which no Soviet unit is adjacent would be the second priority. A unit starting next to a German unit doesn't move. Next thing they would try to do is relieve a garrison, but that's only on turn 4 or later. And then the last thing they do is they're going to follow the movement arrows. So the movement arrows is 1, 2, 3, 4. And then that actually would have caused them to get next to the German unit. So they would have done that instead. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one is actually splitting away because he's following the movement arrows. Now with that said, they are going to attack because I only have 2. I do have an improved position that makes it at 3, but they got 3, 6, 9, 12. The unit below is not participating in the attack. So 12 divided by 3 is a 4 to 1. So the answer is yes, they're going to attack. So the card is going to give them reinforced battle and artillery. So the artillery is interesting. It says artillery does not apply in the artillery barrage zone. Okay, that's fine. Okay, it does add artillery. Fixed artillery is the part that does not apply when they're beyond far or in the artillery barrage zone. Okay, yeah, we're good. So both of these tactics are going to be added. The reinforced battle does mean that other 40 unit is going to be added to the mix. In fact, reinforce lets them Select an active or inactive unit that could reach the combat in a single movement to participate. Unit stack is eligible if it's in the same front. The unit stack moves. So we could move a unit to do it, but there's a unit already there. That's what we're going to use. We're going to use the unit that's already there. So there's no actual movement that's going to occur. So it sort of stinks, but it is finally another card we get to discard. So as far as chit draw goes, I only have one step. So I'm going to cause 1 to happen. And then they're going to cause 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 based on their chits. So, because they have chits, they're all 2 pips each. So that puts us up to 6. Then every combat tactic, there's 2 of them. So that puts us up to 8 chits. We're not surrounded or anything like that. So that doesn't add any more. And I'm going to go ahead and check. So we're not out of supply. Yeah, so we're going to get 8 of them. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I believe so. 2, 4, 6, 8. I drew 1 too many. I'm putting that back in the bag. All right, so we have 3, 6, 9, 12, and with the new unit, 15 divided by 2 is 7. So we're at 7-to-1 odds. Is it a 1-hex attack? No. Is it flank? No. Is there a defender adjacent? Unfortunately, no. Nope. Greater than 2-to-1? Yep. So we're going to take a hit there. Is it a large attack? Yes, it is. Is it greater than 6-to-1? Yeah, unfortunately. Attack commander has command of 1. It was a 2. So their command is a 2, so none of those apply. Only attacker has armor. Nobody has armor, so that's out. Another armor question is out. Is it 1-hex or a city? Flank attack, that's out. So the only thing that happens is we take 3 hits. We have an improved position, so we blocked 1 of them. And now we're taking 2 hits. And remember, we can retreat. So we're not going to take any damage. We're just going to retreat. And that's sort of fine. We're going to retreat, and then we get dispersed. This improvement marker does go away. And what really is disappointing is there's so many chits that give you a bonus if you're in the woods, and we didn't get any of them. So that hurts. Oh, let's see here. I'm just even looking in the bag. I can't even find, oh, here we go, there's one. Got my finger on it. Let's see if I can get it out. Right there, in the woods, D-1, meaning we can absorb a hit. That's the stuff we needed. But we didn't get any of those, but that's part of the RNG of the game. Okay, that turns over. Oh, it's not fully over. They get to advance. The units that would advance, would it get them closer? 1, 2, 3, 4. If they move to here, they would be 1, 2, 3. I guess they would. So it's highest to lowest, I believe. So the highest would be 13. He would advance to here, but only if I roll a 1 to 7. So we got a 6, so he made it. The next one will only advance. I rolled a 3. Let me check. Only if a 1 or 3 would have happened. So the next one moved in. Everybody else is not going to move in. So that's it. It really doesn't do them too much good. So we move to the next set of cards. 2 more cards again. And this one's going to be the primary. This one's a secondary, and you can see the command delay again. And in fact, that 69th Army command delay card, I think we've gotten it multiple times. Just checking. I think we're down to 5 cards in the draw pile. So this one, the first Guards Army, is the first time they're activating. All of them are going to activate. So let's discard that card. The first guards army is these purple ones up here. And there's only one right now. So the question is, this one can't move, but this one would attack. I mean, we're actually 4-2. So we have him outnumbered no matter what. Here is 1-1 if he moved here, but he can't because of zone of control. So he's stuck in that location. That's the only unit that there is, and he can't move. He can move backwards across the river, but his objective is actually right here. So he would not attack if it's less than 1-1. That actually eliminates him. This one he would attack potentially, but he can't get there. Crossing that river is going to cost him 1 movement point, plus 1 to get away, and then another 2 for the wood. So that would take his entire movement. This does go away. And for purposes of the attack, we would assume that one of these is being added. So that would be here. So actually that does change things. So it's now 4-4. And where did that guy come from? He was in the reserve units. So I almost made the mistake again. You got to take the reserve units and add them to the determination for the attack. He can't go here or here because he can't move to this spot. There's no proximate. But he can go in the exact location that they're in, and that works. So this is 1-1 odds. For purposes of improvement, this becomes a 5, but that doesn't matter. It's still 1-1 odds. So now we're going to determine okay, so trying to grab the chart here. So when doing situational strength, we do the normal things, and then like if it's an improved position, we add +1 to the German strength. If they had to attack across the river, stuff like that. Or are they adjacent to a supplied unit, we would add another strength. Then we compare it, and if it's greater than 3-1, do not attack if it's less than 1-1. And it's less than 1-1. So that unit is not coming out of the reserve. And here's why. They're adjacent to a supplied unit. So even though this is 4-4, which is 1-1, this actually becomes a 5 because of this, and it's also in an improved position that makes it a 6. So this unit doesn't come out. It'll only come out if it's going to participate in the attack. That's part of the way the deployment works. And we got lucky because that other unit that was there was a 4, which was really strong, and we ended up beating it back, and it took a damage when it retreated. Had that 4 unit been there, then yes, they would have been able to possibly punch through and get to their objective. So that part worked out for us pretty well. Okay, so nothing happens for them other than they got rid of a disruption marker. So now we draw the next 2, and so the 6th Army on the left is activating. The one on the right does not have the command delay, so we're going to use both cards, and it's going to provide a tank brigade for the combat support. So 6th Army is activating. 6th Army is these guys right here, the ones that took that town. So okay, they can't take a VP. They're not near their objective, or they're not going to get near their objective. Open supply line, can they cause surround? Chances are no. I mean, this one's already doing this round. This one's vulnerable, but can they move around them? They can move here, but then after that, they're stuck. And that's not going to cause surround to anybody. No, it wouldn't cause surround to anybody. So can they go to a Soviet VP hex? They're in one, actually, most of them. This one up here is causing surround, but he's already there. So if they're already causing surround, but not adjacent to surrounded unit, move adjacent. Okay. Adjacent to German VP hex, they're not. Logistics, no. If they're adjacent to a German, they stay there. But they can also move to be adjacent to a German. And then, of course, there's relieve garrison, which is not here. And then lastly, it's follow the movement arrows. So they can, they're going to move to be adjacent to a German from highest to lowest. These two won't move because they're causing surround. But number 7 here will move to be adjacent to this German because that's 2 spaces away. Then this number 4 would go be adjacent to that one. And then this one has to choose between, and they'll go here. Because basically they could now break through. Both of these can break through next turn and get to causing some surround or other problems. So they are becoming problem children. Last time we played, they did not go in this direction, which is interesting. But now that they are, they're annoying. Okay, that is done. And, oh, do they attack? Well, actually, yes, they will. Because look here, 7 to 2 is going to definitely attack. That's 3 to 1. So the tank brigade will apply the auxiliary card. So we're going to force them to draw 1 chit, and then this will be 2 chits, and that's 3 chits. The tank brigade is 4. And then we draw another card for fixed artillery, which is 5. That will apply, because the fixed artillery is the far range, which is this. See, this unit is outside of the thing. It's not going to get the artillery barrage, but the far range is 2. And so that means 2 spaces away from that line is still in the range. So that will attack. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We're up to 5 chits. Let's go. We're going to lose. This unit's going to get wiped out. He has nothing going for him where he's currently at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So is it a 1 hex attack? No. That's why they separate out. Is it a flank attack? No. Is it, let's see, they were 7 to 2. So it's 3 to 1. Is it a large attack? No. Is it greater than 4 to 1? Nope. Is it greater than 2 to 1? Yes. It's 7 to 2. There's no air power. It's currently in a clear zone. So there's no woods are broken. And it's not that. So we both take a hit. Now, the good news for me is all I have to do is retreat. My hit doesn't actually cause a step loss. Their hit, however, does. So the one with the highest number takes the hit. And then the highest number can decide to move into that space. And it is something that's their objective is down here. So does that make them closer to their objective? They're currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If they move here, they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That does not make them closer to their objective. Although you could argue with the river, it does. But you're not supposed to take that into consideration. The river is not a part of the objective tracing. Okay, so here's what it says. Is it a VP hex? No. Is it the primary direction? Oh, that might be true. Yes. So if it's the primary direction, the answer is yes. They will take the spot. And then this one, it's also his primary direction, so we would roll a die. A 1 to a 7 means that he also moves into the spot. So that's where they go. So just like that. Okay, so the 2 cards are now discarded. And we're going to draw 2 more cards. Now the draw pile, by the way, is down to 1 card. So, and I forgot something. I don't know if they would have abandoned the VP here. So I'm going to keep one of them on this. And I don't know if 2 of them would have went after this guy. I think one would have went one way or the other way, but that's okay. One of them has to stay behind to protect the VP hex because we are proximate. We could have easily moved right in to take that VP. So that other one would not have moved. Okay, so here we go. We got a C3 and a C2. Obviously the one on the right will take precedence. The one on the left has command delay, but we only have 1 card in the draw pile, so it will stay in the auxiliary box. We're finally getting to the end. So the pop-off units are going to take control. The 40th Army card, the auxiliary card, will give them intelligence. So the pop-off units are the ones that are sort of stuck in this area here. We're trying to do a good job of keeping them boxed in, but nobody keeps baby in a corner, and nobody keeps pop-off in the corner either. Let's go. Can they take a VP hex? No. Are they near their objective? They are so near to it, they can almost spit on it. So can they move adjacent to a German VP hex that's near that objective within 4 spaces? In fact, there's 2 candidates, this one and this one. They're both within 4 spaces of this objective. This is not one. So that's not as interesting to them. So the answer is yes. And that is done in an ascending order. So we would start with the lowest number first, which is this one. So now there's 2 to choose from. So let's figure out what's the... They prefer a VP hex. Yep, we got that. Targeted exclusively by active front. This one is not targeted by the active front. Let me move the camera a little bit to the left. This one is targeted by the yellow units. This one has 2 colors, both colors. So this one is targeted by them. This one is not. It's maybe hard to see on the camera, but this is a yellow circle. This is half yellow, half red. And let's see if you can see the half yellow, half red, and then see how this one's yellow. So this is the only one that matches the criteria, especially when you're getting into the tiebreaker here. So they're going to go after this one. So we're going to go 1, 2 with that guy. Next number up is 4. Okay, they have zone of control here, so that's 2, 3, 4. It's not a problem. He was able to make it in. Next one up is 6. He makes it 1, 2. And then 9. 1, 2, 3. And 13. So they're going to be able to get a nice little juicy stack of units here. And we're in trouble. We only have 1 unit there that's worth 4. We are in big trouble. Now these units can't do anything. Well, they can, because they can still move 4 spaces, and even though this is not targeted by them, it still satisfies the condition that they prefer a VP hex. It's just that the tiebreaker is they prefer one that's exclusively by their active front. It doesn't mean that they can't do it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, well, this one can't make it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 of them can make it there. So they'll do that. This one is not able to make it to either. So we got to figure out what to do with him. And then I also realized that when we activated these units, I needed to determine if that one was going to attack or that one was going to attack. So I got to go back and resolve that as well. Let's keep going. Can they cause surround? No. Oh, actually, we skip all the spearhead stuff. They're going to follow their movement arrows. So 1, they can't because we're blocking it. Then they're going to move closest to the front objective. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what they're going to do. Okay, so before we resolve this, let's go back and I forgot to check for the last turn. It's a little bit of an asterisk, but we'll... so this is a 3, that's also a 3, but we have an improved position marker, which turns this into a 4. There would be no attack here. This is a 2, that's a 2. There would be an attack there, or maybe. Their command card was a 3. They had fixed artillery, so they did have an auxiliary, so that would have been a 4. And so what we're doing is we're they're tied 1-1, but we're calculating if they got the 7 points necessary for an attack. So they made it to 4. They're in the artillery barrage. That makes it 5. So this is 3. Nope. This makes it 4. That makes it 5. If flanking will apply. No. Or defender will be surrounded and unable to trace supply. That is true. So that's 6. And the combat tactics on the auxiliary card does apply, 7. So they would attack. So the only the drawback here is we probably would have drawn one of the 2 cards we just drew for this turn as the extra card. But I will draw that extra card right now. So it's going to be fixed artillery, which is already a thing. So we can't have that twice. Actually, the auxiliary does not apply. But there was less than 4 cards in the draw pile, so that applies. So it's still a 7. So how many do we draw? We draw 1, 2. And then there's 3 because of the artillery barrage event. So they're going to get 3 chits. We could still lose badly here. 1, 2, 3. It's 1-1. So greater than 7-1, no. Is it a flank attack? Nope. Is it city, town, or woods? Nope. They're not supplied. They're still supplied this turn. Only attacker has armor. So basically that's a big nothing burger. Nobody hit anybody. So that's resolved. The good news is the draw pile is now empty. Bad news is when these guys attack, they don't get to draw any extra... They do have intelligence, which gives them an extra 2 to their... nope, the command value is considered to be a 5. That's all it does. And it increases the German hits by 1. So we actually get an extra hit automatically because of intelligence. That, oh no, that's only if the printed CV is a 4 or 5. The printed command is a 3. If this was a 4 or 5, intelligence would have given an automatic hit. So, my apologies. So, they're attacking across the river. The Donets River, if they're attacking across, the defender automatically reduces the hits by 1. This is the same thing that happened to us when we tried to attack across. So, here we go. 3, 6, 10, 15, and 6 is 21. Okay, we only have 4. But for the purposes of calculating, it becomes a 5 because we're in an improved position. And then I think it becomes a 6 because of the river. Yes, it becomes a 6 because of the river. Yep. There's no adjacent units to help the Germans. So purposes of this 21 to 6, so that's when they would still do the attack. Now the actual attack is not 21 to 6, it's 21 to 4. So they're 5 to 1 for purposes of the chits. They do get the intelligence, which means their command value is 5, and that is going to add one more chit to the draw. So we're going to draw 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a 3-pip one. 6, 7, 8, and then the auxiliary tactic makes it 9. So there's going to be 9 chits drawn. We get to block 1 because of the city, and we block 1 because of... And we got to do our best here. 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So this one would have been a fantastic one if we had a defender adjacent. We don't. Is the defender dispersed, unsupplied, or not supported? No. The whole concept of supported only applies to the Russians. Are they less than 4? Say it was 21. They're 5 to 1. They're greater than or equal to 5. So we're in 2 hits there. Dispersed and applied. Defender adjacent. See, this is huge for a 1 hex attack. No. Attack. No. Is there artillery? Nope. Does the hacker command have a 5? Yes, because of that stupid intelligence thing. Oh, I was hoping not to draw that one. Is it greater than 4 to 1? Yes. Is it greater than 2 to 1? Yes. Is it greater than 3 to 1? Yes. So all of these are happening. They did 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage to us. That is awful. Totally, totally awful. We blocked 2 of them, so that goes away. So now they're at 2, 3, 4, 5 damage. We get to withdraw twice. So I'm going to withdraw towards Kharkov, and then it would become disrupted. Right, but we're not done. So we just took care of that one. And now we have 1, 2, 3 more hits. And there's only 2 steps on this thing, so it's completely eliminated, but not destroyed. It's just eliminated. And there was 1 extra hit, right? So they did 1 more hit than necessary. Oh no, they did, yeah. So they only needed this to eliminate the unit. The retreat twice and then the 2 hits. So this 1 extra D1 they got cancels one of the A ones. So now we only do 2 hits to them. And it's only 1 at first. It's going to be the 3-pip unit. So he's going to take damage. Now we got to look at a chart to see if how the others take damage. So you have to add up all the pips. So there's 2, 4, 6, 8. There's 10 pips. And there's only 1 more hit on those 10 pips. So you look at this table here. So there's 1 hit remaining. We had 2, but remember one of them got canceled because they overkilled us. And they have 10 pips, so there's 1 more step loss. We would have caused 2 more if. So you just follow the chart. So now the step loss is going to be the highest numbered 2-pip unit here. So 13 right now is the winner, chicken dinner. So this one gets another loss. So now starting with the lowest number, are they going to occupy? And the answer is hell yes. That's a VP hex. So the Russians are now up to 4 victory points. And despite our best efforts, we still could not stop them. So they take that. It becomes 4. Then they could choose to continue to move this way, but that's not the primary direction. And so, and their objective is over here. So they would not move to the second one. Now the next one, we have to roll a die, even though they all want to cross this river. We rolled a 7, and the 7 means it does not cross. So nobody else is crossing. And that was just a die roll thing. And by all means, they should have moved over. Okay, so we lost the one unit. I'm not real happy about that, but we tried our best to at least delay them. It sort of worked. Kharkov is wide open, so we're gonna have to fall back and defend Kharkov. It's just, they're so overwhelming. I don't know. This is such a tough game. Such a tough game. Okay, we're finally at the end of game turn 1. So let's talk about game turn 2. So first thing we do is we just look at the calendar here. The game turn moves to here. This unit goes into the reserves. So now they have 2 units they can add to the battle. Soviet artillery barrage is still going on. The German supply has to start, and we can do German strategic movement now. The German hand size is still 4, but the supplemental cards is 4. This gets added to the Soviet cards because it's game turn 2. So we add that to the deck for the Soviets, and then we're going to shuffle that Soviet deck, and they'll be ready to go with their monster actions again. We have no reinforcements of any kind. We have to hold an entire game turn with nothing but the skin of our teeth here. So these cards go back into the draw pile. All the primaries always go back. And then we have game turn 2. Oh, I must have put this in the wrong pile. That also goes there. Game turn 2 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them get added to this pile. So now we got to shuffle this pile, and we're going to draw 4. So we're not necessarily going to get the 4 that just got added. There were 2 cards already here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 cards get drawn. The other 2 stay face down. Those 4 cards get mixed in with the deck, and then these cards flip over and join that deck. So now we're going to draw our hand size of 4. But this entire deck of cards is going to be ours for this particular. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And what do we got? We got actually one of the new cards we drew. So we have the 4th Panzer Army. So this will deploy all reserves. Activate all units in one 4th Panzer Army. Activate all 4th Panzer Army and Corps Rouse units within 2 hexes. So we can pick a spot, and then within 2 hexes, we can activate everybody, even if they're different colors, or we can do any command event we want. So it's a pretty powerful card. And you can see the command value is 4. We got 2 of these orange cards. Activate all of the 3 Corps units within 2 hexes, or activate all of them. So it's a little different, but we do have 2 of those, and they're both supplemental, by the way. And then we got a primary purple. So we got 3 supplemental cards and a primary. The whole reason I point that out is because there's an orange primary that we're going to draw as well. So these aren't the primary ones. So there might be some strategy here to maybe use these for the tactics, since we have so many orange ones. Or if we think that the orange is powerful, we could maybe try to use them some other way. But right now, the orange is getting its butt kicked. We're in a bit of trouble with orange. Okay, Soviets always go first, but we're not done yet. The back of the rule book is what we want to use. We did the reserve phase. We did the card prep phase. Now we have to do the supply phase, and the only things that happen is we determine the supply status of the German units, but not the Soviet. And we remove out of supply and isolated markers from units that are now in supply. And we have to place the out of supply marker on out of supply units. And then of course, if it's already out of supply, it becomes isolated. If it's already isolated, then we check for surrender. So it's bad. Very, very bad. So out of supply is very bad. So here we go. I am fairly certain I know 2 units are out of supply. The German edges are this edge here, this whole edge over here, this edge here, and then even up to this road here. So we just have to be able to trace to any road that goes to those edges. And well, these units all have clear path to one of those edges. And so do these units over here. Every one of them has a clear path. So that's not an issue. The 2 that don't, though, are the 2 that are surrounded. So that one and that one are out of ammo, or low supply. Also, all the disruption markers go away. At the end of the game turn, that happened. So we get rid of the disruption markers, and now we can go ahead and start. We are on the Soviet command phase. So they go first, and as always, they're going to draw their 2 cards. And we got a C5, which is Stavka, which is bad. And then this one is the support, so NKVD is the support. It does go in the auxiliary. So on turn 2, we're going to activate all the 3T army plus stacked units. That's the yellow units with the blue background. So we're going to go ahead and activate those. And then all in support attacks receive the NKVD combat tactic, which is funny because that's the combat tactic that is being provided by the auxiliary card. So it's a little redundant. Okay, so this is a spearhead unit. Their objective is this guy right here. This guy is proximate, meaning that he has the movement points to cross the river and go there. Now, granted, he wouldn't be able to move after that, but that doesn't matter. So this objective is moving to a new location. So how does that get resolved, you ask? That's a great question. So we have this handy dandy table right here in the player aid. So it's called objective marker relocation. So this particular objective is called Shugwev, or however you pronounce that, right? So it's the top one here. So we're gonna roll a die. So I rolled a 5. So the next one is gonna be Volky. It could have been Krasnograd or Kharkov, but it's Volky. So we gotta figure out where Volky is. I think I see it. It's not spelled the same. This Velky is spelled with a Y. The other one was spelled with an I. I don't know if that makes a difference. I don't think it does, so I'm going to go ahead and move this. So now this is their new objective. So they're trying to go there. They don't care about anything in between, usually, but that's their new objective. So now we got to do the 3T turn. And of course, they're attacking Kharkov along the way. Okay, can they take a hex? No. Are they adjacent to a German VP hex and near the objective? Not anymore. That changed. So that doesn't apply anymore. Can they open a supply line? Not necessary. There are spearhead units, so we're going to skip 4 through 9. They need to follow their movement arrows. They can't do that either because we're blocking them from doing that. Otherwise, they would. Are they closest? Can they get closest to the front objective? A couple of them can move a little closer. And then strengthen a potential attack. That's the last one. So if they're going to move closer to the front objective, they're going to prefer a hex closest to objective, and then adjacent to a German-occupied hex with least strength, or an empty hex. So these ones can't necessarily move closer. Well, they could. Like this one could move to here, which would technically be closer to the objective. Yeah, it would work. It's going to be ascending order, so they don't necessarily care about taking this spot. So it's going to be weird, but they're going to sort of move around like this. So this one would move one space closer, because right now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 spaces away. By moving there, they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 spaces away. Moving closer to the objective is more important than strengthening an attack. So this is the priority for them. Now, before that guy would have moved there, though, we got to do it in the right order. We're moving in lowest number first. So the lowest number is this guy in the back. So he would move 1, 2, 3. And if he can cross a river, he would, but he's in zone of control and can't. So he would move, and then he stops. He's stopping next to a German unit, which is fine, because it actually prefers that. So then the next lowest number is the 4. So he would also move there, because that's still closer for him, even if it's just one space. And then the next lowest number is 6, who would also join in. And he can do that. Then the next lowest number is 8. Well, 8 is over here. So could they, if they went here, that would be 2 points. Oh gosh, the woods are bad for them. That would be 3 more for 5. That'd be 8. They're moving around our guy, but they're not moving closer to their objective. So that would not work. So then what they would do is they would move 2 spaces, 3 spaces, and then stop here. Well, they would move 2 spaces and then they would stop here because they still want to be next to a German unit if they can. So they would just basically just hoppity over one space. I forgot, we got this one who's got a 1. He should have gone first. He would have crossed the river. Or you know what? He doesn't even have to do that. He would just go right along his arrows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's made it across because they blasted a hole. So would some of these other ones have benefited from that? So if I would have left here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, that actually might be better for them. This guy came from, oh boy. This guy was here. This guy was there. He was there. And this one was, I think, up here. All right, we got to do this over again. The objective is here. So there's an advantage to going this way and crossing the bridge that's open. So this guy, for example, can go 1, and see there's 2 primaries. This one, though, is not for him. That's his primary. But he can go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 away. Whereas if he was here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 away. So that actually puts him 1 space closer. And so then when we're talking about here, though, they would have to go 2. It costs them 2 to leave. 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this actually, both of these guys would benefit by moving to here. So it sort of makes sense. You know, one group broke through the bridge. The other ones are going to try to take advantage of that. Now, this one here is an interesting one. They could get to here, or they can do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So these two benefit from going to here. Because that would be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then this one can move 7. So he's 3 pips. So he can't He can't join these guys. And then this is an infantry, so he can't do that. Now, the infantry is different. The problem with the infantry is they don't move as far. However, moving 4 spaces this way is still better than moving that way. So this one would move 1, 2, 3, and can join here for 4, because this is a 6 pip limit. 1, 2, and then can join, can do 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Nope, this one would move here. 1, 2, well, we would do the lowest number first. So this would be 2, 3, 4. He would have gone here. This one would have joined him because this is the next lowest, and he would have gone here, which would have taken that spot. And yeah, that's it. So it's interesting because the only potential combat is this one, which is 7, and we got a strength of 10, so there's no way they would initiate that combat. The unit that's way up here is not going to move yet because they would break surround. So there's going to be no attack at all because they're not adjacent to anybody. They're behind all the pop-off units. So what ends up happening in that situation is that the auxiliary card does not get discarded because it wasn't used for combat. So it's now going to move over and they get another turn. So now we're going to activate 2 unit stacks in the MGP that's not in a VP hex. And all MGP reserves would get deployed. So they're going to prefer supplied, not surrounded, et cetera, et cetera. But those just 2 unit stacks, that's it. And so they prefer supplied, not surrounded, highest strength. That's probably going to be the determining. And then after that is most units and then lowest selector. Okay, so if you look at the stacks, we picked 2 of them. This one has 2, 5, 9 strength. This one is only 5, 4. That's 3 plus 4 is 7. You do count this. 3, 6. So the 9 strength for sure, and then this one here for 7, which isn't even their own unit, but it says stacks. So it's going to activate the stacks. So so then again, we're going to do movement and all this other stuff. So they want to get to their objective, and they're going to try to follow their lines. So if you look at these, they all have 6 movement each. Their primary line is to go straight across the river this way. So that would cost them 1 movement point to cross the river. Nope, 2 points because they're mech. So that's 2. And they made it to here. But then they would go 3, 4, 5, and then 6. That gets them right next to their objective. They're going to knock that objective. Oh, I'm sorry, this is the Voronezh objective. This objective moved because these guys they can move here. So we got to move this. Let's roll the die, figure out where their next objective is going to be. It's a 7. So it was in 1410. So the 1410 with a 7 is going to Lozovaya. Lozovaya is actually this way. So we went the wrong direction. So this is still 2 points. This is 3. And then this is 4. And one thing that I missed is I went this way, but see, that's the Voronezh. That's a V. That's an S. So this becomes 5. And then it says 6. It wants us to go this way. But we need to go that way. 7 puts us here. Yeah, we're going the wrong way. It does say follow your direction. The problem is if we would have rolled differently, the objective really would have been in this direction. So then what you do is you try to look for a secondary direction, and then you can go that way too. We need a secondary direction that pushes them this way, but there isn't, because like if you're in this square, you're either moving this way or that way. It's only when you're in this square that it moving you that way. So it's very interesting because we're moving away from our objective. But please understand that the follow the movement arrows is before moving to the objective. Must start in a hex with arrows, spend all movement points in primary, secondary, prefer a move that ends in unoccupied hex, and furthest in hexes from start, closest to objective. Follow primary arrows. If move in primary direction would end before all movement points are spent, while moving in the secondary direction would not move in the secondary direction. It does not say that we can deviate from primary or secondary. But it does say that you want to get as close to the objective. Well, if there was a secondary direction, like here, that would have helped us, but there wasn't. So that's very interesting. Now this one, it's interesting because these two units are, they're not the same. So this one would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because he does want to go to this objective. This one would go 1, and see this little eye here? We do need to cross. So that would be 2, 3. See, that would have been 3, 4, 5, 6. These guys are a lot further back. It's 3 points to go across that river. This one, 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So he's well on his way to getting to his objective. And do you see the madness that's happening now? They busted a hole in our line, and they're just spreading throughout the map like a plague. And there's nothing they can do to stop them. And so then they're going to basically cut off, they're going to take all these towns and cities, and then every road that goes to an edge is going to be out of supply for me. And so every unit that I have on the board is going to eventually get wiped out. Somebody said they really enjoy this game. I don't know what you enjoy about it. I mean, what is it that we're doing that's making any tangible difference so far? I mean, I understand that there's 14 game turns to the game, and it's a big gripe of mine with this particular game. I feel like everything I do is pointless. I felt like I was delaying a little, but all they did was apply the pressure. They got so many units, I cannot push them back. Okay, so yeah, we'll just do the best we can, right? And then once those objectives go away, then they start using these squiggly lines to determine whether they're in support or not in support. And they'll try to stay within their squiggly lines, depending on how many victory points they have. Okay. I think I finally did their turn. That auxiliary getting a second turn for them, that blue chunks. So now we determine if there's going to be any attacks. I don't think there will be. I mean, they technically still have this unit here, which is at 3. That unit, well, no, those aren't their units. This here, they have 6 points to R4. So the command card is just a 1. There's no way they're going to get 7 points. So that's not happening. This one was 7 to 10. Yeah, that wasn't going to happen. Yeah, there's no attack happening there. So now we got to decide what the heck are we going to do. And my answer is I don't know. We need to keep our supply routes open. And one of the things I need to do is take that town back, but I just can't. I can't. I'm so desperately unable to do anything in this game. I need to defend Kharkov. That's 4 victory points. I don't want to lose Kharkov. So in one respect, I need to It's even worse. I'm not even going to get to defend Kharkov. So these units I moved along the arrows because I was assuming that's what they would do. That's not true. They would move here for 3, and then 4, 5, they would take Kharkov. And it would be the lowest number. He would do that. Everybody else would go to here, like we did. The first objective is always to take a VP, right? Well, this was wide open. They go. All they had to do was have enough movement points to get there. So Soviets just scored 1, 2, 3, 4 victory points, and we didn't get to do anything because they did all those impulses at the end of the last turn, and now they're taking their impulse first this turn, and all we did was just sit here and watch them tear us apart. It's yeah. Okay, so now with that said, what do we do? I can activate the orange units, I can activate the purple units. The purple units are interesting, and here's why. I started to create a defensive line. This unit is ripe for the picking, and if I take it, then look, the pathway is open for me to take that objective up there, or to free him from being surrounded. So purple could break them out. The other thing that's possible is if I retreat these units, I can actually attack Kharkov. I can't flank Kharkov, but I might be able to take him out because this is 10, 14 points to 4. That's 3-to-1 odds. Although cities are brutal whenever you draw the wrong tokens. I got orange cards, which these guys are the orange guys. This one's super weak. Both of these this one took a hit, but they're both weak. They're only 4 strength. And then this one's 6 strength. But I have 6 movement points. I can move in and then around to either take this or to try to relieve a unit up here. I have options. Which one do I do? I feel like taking Kharkov is my priority. But the only way I can do that is I have to activate the 4th Panzer Army. I can activate all units in 1 4th Panzer Army Corps, which would be the yellow ones. I can definitely do that. Then I have the ability to add Panzer Battalion. What does that do for us? Add 2 to the combat strength of the German attack. It's not very helpful. It does add 2. So if I was 14 to 4, that's a 3-to-1. I can make it 16 to 4, which then becomes 4 to 1. That does help. All right. I'm going to play this and activate my yellow units. I don't know if that's the best use of this card, but that's what we're going to do. So that's a supplemental discard. The yellow units do not need to defend. We're going to abandon this 1 victory point, and we're going to go 1, 2, and then I'm going to go... I have 6 points, so I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, I can surround it like get out, but I'm going to go ahead and do this way. We want those 4 victory points back. Should I play the Panzer Battalion? Part of me is saying yes, because 4-to-1 odds is better than 3-to-1 odds. I don't know, because I need all my cards. I want to do other actions. You know what though? It's 4 victory points. I have to take this. This is like a priority. So here we go. We're going to play this card. I have plenty of orange cards, so I'm not necessarily hurting from this. So we're going to play this for the Panzer Battalion, which gives me 2 strength points. It doesn't help me in any other way. Like, it would have been nicer if I used that with an infantry attack, because then it gives them armor. But that's what we're going to do. Now, they get to draw a card. So they draw Assault Coordination, which is a reuse card. Assault Coordination doesn't do them any good, because that only helps them if there was somebody nearby. The Reinforced Battle lets them get movement points, but no one gets movement points. This Assault Coordination is, in fact, Assault Coordination is not used in defense at all. So it would not have helped them. But it does say reuse, so we have to shuffle it back in. All right, the chits is going to be 2 minimum, and then this is going to be 3, 4, 5, and then I have one that makes it a 6. So I'm going to go ahead and draw 2, and here we go. There's the 2. So are we greater than 6 to 1? Nope. We are greater than or equal to 4 to 1. So already our decision is paying off. Is it less than that? Or is it greater than 2 to 1? Yes. So we got 2 hits. One gets absorbed by the city, so that'll cancel it. And I'm going to get to draw 1, 2, 3. I could draw 4 more. I am going to draw 4 more. So here's 2 of the 4. And then here's 2 more. So what do we got? We're not 5 to 1, but we're not 3 to 1 either. So that's out. Is the defender not supported? They're always supported right now, but we're not 7 to 1. We're not 5 to 1 either. That's out. Flanks don't work against cities. Is it a 1-hex attack? Nope. Is it dispersed or unsupplied? Oh, look at this. They cancel the hit. So they cancel that hit, and then they cancel another hit, and not a single dang hit. If we would have just stuck with what we did, he would have at least retreated 1 space, and then we could have taken the city. By adding the extra tokens like I did, I made it worse. I should have taken my luck while I had it. The city was taken. The first hit would have been blocked. The second hit would have forced a retreat. The unit wouldn't have taken damage, but I would have been able to at least take the city, and I could have put all 3 of those units in that city and put 14 defense in there and tried to hold the city. Now I'm in trouble. I'm in big trouble. Okay, that hurts. I'm going to draw back to my hand size, which is 2 cards. And it's going to be the Soviet turn next. All right, I'm going to end here. Thanks for watching. Stay awesome. Stay healthy and safe.